All right, this is Teddy Calton, my son. And I've noticed, Teddy, recently you have both an iPod Touch and a Nintendo DS, and you use both of them pretty frequently, right?
I don't really use the DS that much anymore.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's talk about the Nintendo DS first. What do you like about your Nintendo DS?
Probably that it's good for use, like on a long trip, because the battery lasts for a really long time. Other than the iPod Touch, if you use games, your battery goes out pretty quickly if you use it pretty frequently. But that's mainly because it's meant for gaming.
Anything else you really like about the DS?
There's some pretty good games.
Okay. Which games do you really like?
I like Mario Kart. That's a pretty fun game.
Okay. And what don't you like about your Nintendo DS?
The game cards you can just use them over the iPod Touch. Like, you could just go on here and there's my app for that.
We'll get to the iPod Touch in a second. Just tell me what you like and don't like about the Nintendo. Or what you don't like about the Nintendo.
I don't really like how the game cards are. So, you can lose them easily.
Yeah, you lost one.
Yeah, you found it for me, 5 years after I lost it.
Yeah.
So most of the games for the graphics, the graphics are pretty bad compared to, for the Xbox or PlayStation or something.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the iPod Touch. What do you like about the iPod Touch?
The games are really cheap. The apps are really cheap. The stuff is fun. Most graphics are good. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff to just play around with.
What do you play around with?
I like to just play around with, making screenshots and playing the games and making stuff.
Do you do anything other than play games on it?
I use my mail. Sometimes I use the music. What other stuff? Let me check. What else do I use frequently? I use the weather system. I have a movie app on here, which is really cool. It's my photos. Anything else? Sometimes I use the internet, hardly ever, but yeah.
Okay. And what don't you like about the iPod Touch?
Wow. If you're trying to mail or you're trying to use a keyboard, it's a real pain in the butt because you have to go A, D, and say you were saying add the thing. It would take a bit types, but if you were on a computer, it could take you 10 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay, and if you had to choose one or the other, if I was going to take one of them away from you and you only had one left, which one would you choose? The iPod Touch or the Nintendo?
Probably the iPod Touch.
Okay. And tell me about what do your friends have?
DS's. I know some of them have iTouches. Most of them have other game systems. Pretty much everyone in the whole school has a DS, at least.
And would you say kids are wanting to get iPod Touches, or are they not that interested in iPod Touch?
They really want iPod Touches, probably.
And why do you think they want iPod Touches?
It's really cool. Everyone's really into music, and they like playing the games on them. And there's a lot of popular games. There's a website called Armor Games, and apparently, some of their games they put on the iTouch. And, Armor Games is, really popular with some of my friends, because there's, Crush the Castle and some other ones. So, yeah.
Okay, so would you guess most of your friends are going to have iPod Touches in the next year or two?
It depends. Probably. I know one of my friends named Chase is probably going to get one. One of my friends already has one. I don't think my friend Tanner's gonna get one.
Why don't you think he'll get one?
He has got an Xbox Elite, and I don't think he's entirely impressed with him. Or it's just that he's kind of jealous of some other people.
Why do you think he's not impressed with him?
I don't know. I don't know entirely. Tanner is kind of a negative person at sometimes, and he can be a really nice person, or really positive person at other times.
Okay, and do you ever do two-player games on the iPod Touch?
Sometimes, but it's kind of hard because I only have like local Wi-Fi on it. Like I know I have some, but like this doesn't really have stuff like Xbox Live. Like can go like really across stuff. This doesn't have stuff like totally across. Like sometimes I play the Asphalt game. Remember at Disneyland.
And tell me what your 3 favorite games on the iPod Touch are.
Probably, definitely Plants vs. Zombies. That's like all definitely Angry Birds, and that's a hard one. Probably, it's either time between Zombie Farm and Sandstorm, but I wouldn't know.
And how do you and your friends find out about new games for the iPod Touch?
We kind of talk to each other about them, and we surf the App Store sometimes.
Okay. All right, well, thanks, Teddy.